again, explorers. I am here to tell you another story from God's book, the Bible. Now, you should know that we have been hearing lots of different stories from Jesus. These are stories that Jesus has told to his friends and to sometimes not his friends, but the stories that he's been telling that help us to know about who he is and about the kingdom of God. So this is another story of Jesus. Now, one of Jesus' friends, Peter, came to Jesus and asked him, "Now, if someone does something wrong towards me, how many times should I forgive him?" He asked Jesus. And he said, "Should I forgive him 7 times?" And Jesus said, "No, not 7 times, but 77 times. And then Jesus told Peter a story. And the story went something like this. There once was a king. This is going to be our king. And there were lots of people, his servants, that owed him some money. So the king had given some money to these people, and he decided it was time for them to pay the money back. So he called for his servants to come to repay his money. Now there was one servant that came to the king, and the king said, "Servant, you owe me 100,000 bags of gold." And the servant didn't have that much money. And he said to the king, "Please, I don't have the money. I will repay you, but I can't today. I don't have that much money. Please forgive me." And the king looked at him and decided that he was going to forgive him. And he said, "Don't worry about paying me back any of the money. You are free to go, and you don't have to pay me any of the money that you owe me." 100,000 bags of gold. He did not have to pay back to the king. Wow, the servant was happy, and he left the king. And then he came across someone else that he knew, one of his servants. Now this servant owed the man 100 silver coins, much less than the 100,000 bags of gold that he owed to the king. And he said, "Hey, servant, come here. You owe me 100 silver coins. Pay them back right now." And the servant said, please, I don't have that money. I will repay you, but I don't have that money today." And he said, "Oh, out with you. You go to jail until you can pay me back." So he sent the man to jail. Now the king heard about what had happened, and he called to the servant to come and talk to him. And he said, "You did such a bad thing. You owed me 100,000 bags of gold, and I forgave you. But yet the other man only owed you 100 coins, and you did not forgive him. You have done the wrong thing, and now you must pay me back my 100 bags of gold, and you have to go to prison until you can pay every single cent back." So he sent the man and his family to prison for the bad thing that he had done until he could pay him back. Now, Jesus told this story to remind us that Jesus forgives us of all the things that we do. Every single bad thing or sad thing that we have done, Jesus freely forgives us. Every time we pull our sister's hair, or not sharing our toys, or if we don't listen to mum or dad, Jesus forgives us. And every bad thing that we ever will do in our whole life, Jesus has already forgiven us. And so Jesus wants us to forgive other people when they do something sad or bad towards us as well, because Jesus has already forgiven them. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you that you forgive us. Please help us to forgive others. Amen. See you next time. All right, let's do our craft for the story that we have just heard about the servant who did the wrong thing, and about how Jesus has forgiven us. All right, so the first one we've got is the one that goes in our scrapbook. Okay, so we've got this, it's a bag of money, in case you didn't know. So the first thing you might like to do is to grab your coloured pencils or textures, and you can colour in the money bag whatever colour you like. So might colour mine in blue, colour in this bit. You could do all sorts of colours. Alright, so you colour the whole thing in, and then once you've done that, you can get out your stickers, these yellow stickers. We're pretending that this is like the gold money from the story. Okay, so you can get the stickers off and put them all over inside your bag of money. So stick them all on. And then you might like to count how many pieces of money you have in your bag. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wonder how many pieces of money you will have. Alright, so once you've done that, then you can stick it into your scrapbook. So just grab some glue and put the glue around the outside and a bit in the middle, and then you can stick that into your scrapbook like so. Alright, the other craft that we have for you today is this one. We are going to make a photo frame, and at the bottom it says, "Be kind and forgive others because God has been kind and forgiven you." Okay, so yours will look like this to start off with. Now we need mums and dads to help with this part. This square here needs to be cut out. So you're going to need some pretty sharp scissors to use to cut that out. So mum or dad will have to do that for you so that it looks like this. Right, so you've got a hole at the top, and then you'll just fold it along the dotted line to make it into a photo frame. But before you fold it, you might like to do the colouring in. So you can decorate this part of the frame however you like. You might like to do some drawings. I might do some different coloured wiggly lines around mine. You could do different colours, different shapes, whatever you like. There you go, mine's a bit rainbowy. Rainbowy squiggly lines on mine. And then inside, inside in this part, you can either draw a picture of your family and friends in there, or you might like to stick a picture in there. If your mum or dad has a photograph that you can stick in there, maybe they could print one off on their computer, or you might have one laying around your house that you could stick in there. But otherwise, you can draw a picture of whoever it is in your friends or your family, people that you might need to think about forgiving. And then fold it up like this. Then you probably want to stick some glue around this part, the inside, like that. Then it sticks on